These are the notes for N47 using logs to solve exponential equations. Let's start with 81, change it to a base of 3, so 3 to the 4th power is 81. Now that the bases are the same, can mark them off and solve for x. And you can see that x is equal to 3. Very simple. But sometimes the equations you cannot change the bases to be the same. Like on example number 2, 5 is never going to turn into 2. So we're going to use the properties of logarithms to solve for x. So x times the log 2 equals log 5. Okay, and then just divide by log 2. Type that in your calculator, log 5 divided by log 2. We're going to round that answer to 3 decimal places. X is equal to 2.322. Example 3, same thing. We're going to use the properties of logarithms to solve for x. On this one, we need to divide by 8 first so that we can isolate the variable. Now we can take the logarithm on both sides. X log 3 is equal to the log of 5/8. And then finally, just divide by log 3 on both sides. You type that in the calculator and then round your answer to 3 decimal places. So x is equal to negative 0.428. Example 4, we have two exponents that are algebraic expressions. So again, we're just going to do the logarithm on both sides so that we can move the exponents to the front. To solve for x, we're going to start by dividing by log 5 on both sides. Go ahead and type that into your calculator. Log 3 divided by log 5. That gives you 0.683. So now you can actually do distributive property on 3x plus 2. That'll be the next step. So x minus 2, when we multiply times 3, the 0.683 times 3, using our calculator, we get 2.049x, and then 2 times the 0.683, you get 1.366. Now we're going to isolate x on one side of the equation, move the constant to the other, just like you normally do when you solve for x. So we can do plus 2 over to the right side, and we can do minus 2.049x to the left. To make your subtraction easier, remember there's a 1 in front of x. That leaves us with negative 1.049x equal to to 3.366. And the final step is going to be divide by negative 1.049 on both sides. So that'll leave us with x. And the final answer there is negative 3.209. The last example, number 5, if we're going to use the logarithm there, it's just like the example number 3 above it where we have to divide by 500 first. You have to isolate that variable before you can take the log on both sides. So 0.3x log natural log of e equals natural log of 6 over 5. Okay, one thing that'll be helpful to remember is the natural log of e has a value of 1. So we can just mark that off, because multiplying by 1 doesn't change the value of anything. So 0.3x is equal to, now let's put the natural log of 6/5 in the calculator. It's going to give us 0.182. Then finally, we're going to divide by 0.3 on each side to get x. X is equal to 0.607.